Well, hello there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you today on Inspirations for Your Life. If this is your very first time joining me, I want to say thank you. And of course, I want to say welcome to you from the bottom of my heart. If you've been here many times before, well, then I want to say, of course, welcome back. It's always great to have with us. So thank you so much. We'll kick the show off in just a moment, but I want to let you know that if you're thirsty or hungry, feel free to grab yourself something. I have my RO water with some delicious lemon in it, and it's very tasty. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't go forward without telling you about, yes, how proud I am that my first book came out on Friday that had the dedication. Incidentally, if you guys want to see the dedication ceremony, just go to believemeachieve.com and just click the link. It's one of the first two links there. There's also information about my book if you want to check that out. It's called Drained to Driven. I'm not going to tell you about the book that much, but I am going to let you know that it's about a very personal story and how it has inspired me, and I'm sure it will inspire you to make changes. It's about awareness. And in that breath, it's about being intentional with your life. All right, guys, let's kick this show off. This is Inspirations for Your Life. And again, I am so glad that you're all here with me. Why environment shapes your results. Series 5, Show 17, episode number 2. That's our granular topic. The master topic for the week is how people actually take control of their life direction. Who am I? If you still don't know who I am, now that I'm an author after this Friday, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful for being a published author. Today, I'm talking about working harder, and we don't want to do that. Okay, we want to do something else. We're talking about why working harder often doesn't work at all. It actually just, well, kind of like my book says, it kind of just burns you out. Yeah, because most people think their results come from effort. But in reality, their results come from the environment to which they are in. And that's where everything just kind of begins to change for you. All right. Your environment is shaping your behavior, whether you realize it or not. It influences what you see, what you repeat, what you ignore, and what you become. You don't wake up every day and make fully independent decisions, guys. No. You respond to what's around you, and that response becomes your life. That's the truth, guys. Let's get right into the meat here with the first point being environment drives our behavior. You don't act randomly. You are constantly reacting to signals around you. Even if you're not fully aware of them, your subconscious is not just making isolated choices. You're not living in a vacuum, in other words. You are part of a living, breathing society that actually can affect your success. All right, guys. Number 2, you adapt to what surrounds you constantly over time. Your standards, habits, and expectations adjust to your environment. Now, they might not adjust on a dime, but they slowly pivot, they slowly augment to, the feedback that's received by you. Number 3, guys, inputs control outputs. Every time what you take in mentally and physically will determine what you produce outwards. Number 4, guys, exposure rewires thinking. Quietly, repeated exposure changes your beliefs without requiring conscious effort. You mirror your surroundings, whether you want to or not. Your environment becomes a reflection of your behavior over time, that is. And you don't rise above your environment. Consistently, you align with it. That's what you need to do to have success. Context defines decisions, not just logic. The same person makes different decisions in different environments and lights. Number 7, guys, setup controls action more than motivation. If it's easy, you do it. If it's hard, you delay it. I think that's something that all humans seem to fall back on is that principle. And I think that's an important thing for us all, and I'm going to say this word again, to be aware of, to be aware of. That's a very, very important thing, guys. A very, very important thing. Very, very important. Number 8, guys, systems beat willpower. Every time structure outperforms intention when it comes to consistency. That's key, guys. That's key. So we don't just get up and say, oh, gee, this is going to happen. We have to have a little bit of a plan. Okay. And I think that's an important thing to understand. And it's something that a lot of people like they don't get, they don't understand, but it's something that you need to realize and be, let's say, part of. Okay. These are important things to note in life, right? They're very important to note. Number 9, structure creates consistency, not motivation. What is built into your day gets repeated. Let me say that again. What gets baked in your day gets repeated. Number 10, guys, noise kills clarity. Time for a sip of RO here. Great RO water with some lemon. Noise kills clarity, and clarity drives action. Distraction reduces. So we don't want to, get that removed from our agenda. If your environment is chaotic, your thinking will be too. So we've got to be mindful of that situation. Number 11. Are you ready for number 11? I know you are. Clarity improves action. Instantly, when you see clarity, you move faster. When you see clarity, you move faster. Design affects discipline more than people admit. Good design removes the need for constant effort. Number 13, guys, better setups create better outcomes. Without extra work, you don't need more effort. You need better structure. You need better planning. I've said this before. If you fail to plan, you have inevitably planned to fail. So if you have failed to plan, you have planned to fail. Unfortunately, but that is the honest truth. And your structure is important. It doesn't have to be that rigid, but it has to be consistent. Number 14, guys, habits follow the environment. If you have a messy environment, that might mean that you're not able to do what you need to do because your environment is you. So habits follow the environment to which we're in, not just intention. What's easy becomes routine. What's easy becomes routine. So sometimes we need to push that envelope a little bit, okay? So we can get a little bit further. Friction controls behavior. Always. The easier something is, the more often it happens. Make the right things easy and the wrong things hard. I know everybody wants to do things that are so easy and so simple. You know why they do that? Because they don't want discomfort. And I've said this to you guys before a million times. Discomfort is where success lives. It lives there, guys. It's not an easy street right away. We have to kind of experience some challenges a little bit. Not pain, but a little bit of discomfort. And so I want to say something really important here, and that is remove friction to move faster. Sometimes we need to have friction so we can move. Like if we didn't have friction, we couldn't walk. But we can't have so much friction that we couldn't walk, right? So we have some friction so we can walk, but if there's too much, we wouldn't be able to. Simplify action. Reduce barriers to doing what matters. Do you just waste your time or do you do the things that actually matter? Number 17, guys, add friction to stop bad habits. So in order for something to move, it needs to have friction. If we don't have friction, guys, then we don't get anywhere. We don't get anywhere. And I think that's a real important one. Add friction to stop bad habits. Create resistance, make negative behavior harder to repeat. When we install systems, one might be very simple, losing weight, right? Maybe you're a person that loves dessert. So you can learn ways to crave that. One way is to have jello before you have your dessert. Another way is when you're eating your meal to make sure you put the fork down, you put the spoon down between bites, between sips. Number 18, guys. Attention follows exposure. Focus is not random, folks. What you see often becomes what you think about. I've said before, what we think about, we bring about. And wherever we focus our energy, that's where things are going to change. So where we focus our thoughts, that's where the energy is going to flow. What we think about, we bring about. What we focus on is where the energy will be attracted to. Number 19, guys, digital environment matters more. More than ever, your phone is shaping your attention daily. Did you know that? Maybe you're not aware of it, but it's shaping your world daily. And that could be a huge problem for some people because if their phone has got all garbage and all things that are bad for them, then those are the kinds of things you're going to continue to attract in your life. And I think nobody wants that in their life. But yet, my question is, why do people keep doing it? It's simple. Once you get into a habit, a bad habit, a good habit, it just sticks. It just sticks. And if something just sticks, then maybe you'll understand what I'm saying and why things are different for you. Because we get in this loop, all right? Loops can be good, they can be bad. We could have a good habit, we could have a bad habit. That's a very, very important thing to understand. A very, very important thing. And I know that you're probably saying to me, John, this does not make sense. All right. And the reason I tell you it doesn't make sense is because you're wondering why you're not closer to your goal. And I can tell you why. It's because you're either intentionally or subconsciously following the things that you don't want in your life. What we think about, what we focus on, or even what our subconscious focus on, we bring about. So we need to do a mental detox on these things. Number 20, guys. You repeat what you see. Consistently, repetition leads to imitation. Okay? What you scroll becomes what you think. Number 21, guys. Input shape identity, not just outcomes. What you consume becomes part of who you are. All right. Number 22, guys, environment limits or expands growth directly. Weak environments restrict potential. So, my question for all of you is, in a weak environment, why are you still in it? Why do you continue to persist with something that's not helping you get any better? It's actually making you worse. Just because something is going a certain way does not mean this is something that you're meant to do your entire life. Okay? I think that's an important point for a lot of people to understand. If something's not working for you, then you need to do what's right. And you need to do a detox. You need to do a detox on that because those are the kinds of things, guys, that will change your life. Those are the things that say, hey, guys, you know what? This is amazing. This is what's going on. And I think when we can understand these kinds of things, that can make a very, very big difference for lots of people. Now, I know you might be saying, John, this doesn't make a lot of sense for me. I know you're probably saying that. But what I want to tell you is that your life changes. And your life changes by the thoughts, by the inputs. I'm going to give you an example. Maybe some of you have gone to the gas station. Maybe you've fueled up with different gas. You know, when you put different gas in your car, you know what happens? Your engine actually moves differently. It operates differently. All right. And I want to tell you that when you put better gas in, your car works better. Right. So the inputs control the outputs. The inputs control the outputs. That's pretty amazing. So if you change the input once, does that mean the output's going to change? Well, it will start to change. Okay? It will start to change. And again, just because you don't get what you want tomorrow doesn't mean that you should stop doing what you're doing. It doesn't mean you should be stopping it. Because if you stop it, then you're not going to actually be getting anywhere. I said what we think about, we bring about. Remember, I've said that before? What we think about, we bring about. And if we understand that, then I know that your life is definitely important to understand. And I think that's a real important thing for everybody to know. And that thing is that you can make changes in your life every single day. But are you making the right changes in your life? That's really the question that I have. Are you making the right changes in your life? Or are you just going down, this pathway of nowhere, right? I mean, that could be happening to you. Are you going down the right pathway, right? Um, and that right pathway might be something you're saying, "Oh, you know what, John, this is kind of cool, but I don't know if this is gonna be right for me." And no one's saying it has to be perfect, guys. You can keep changing, you can keep altering things, okay? You can keep altering things all that you want. And I think that's a very important thing for you to realize and for people around you to realize is that um, the way you connect, the way you show up in the world impacts what you do and what other people do. Okay. And you might be saying, John, that doesn't make sense. I'm here to tell you, yes, it does make sense. But you've gotta think about it. You've got to think about what it means to you and your life and how that can actually make a difference for you. Okay. I know that you're probably saying to me, John, this makes no sense, but trust me, it does. Let's jump to number 23. Your weak setups are creating weak results. Every time poor structure leads to inconsistency. Don't get lazy on the setup. Make sure you spend the time to do the right things daily. I think that is probably one of the most important things that I can tell you. If you don't do that, you're going to find yourself in a place that you're not very happy with. All right, a place you're not happy with, and you're going to say to me, "Oh my." Changes? How do I get from point A to point B? How do I move in that way? How do I do it? And I think that's probably something that a lot of people they wrestle with. Okay. Um, I think that's a problem for a lot of people. Number 24, control your environment to control the outcomes. This is leverage. You gain power when you control your inputs, which you do have more power over than you think when you're aware of what's happening to you consciously and unconsciously. Number 25, most people underestimate this and they stay stuck their entire life. They try harder. Instead of setting up better, they just push, 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 push. Stop trying harder and start setting up smarter. That's what I'm asking you to do. Don't work harder. There's no need for you to work harder. Absolutely no reason for it. You've got so much potential, guys. And that potential can literally take you to an entirely a new trajectory. A new trajectory that could change your life. and other people's lives too. That's important, guys. Number 26. External change creates internal shift. Naturally change what surrounds you, and your mindset will follow. It will follow. Even if you think it's not going to happen, if you go through the motions and you get the body believing it, you will change. Number 27, structure removes guesswork, reduces hesitation. You don't waste time deciding what to do. So many people I know waste time. They're like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Well, one thing is stop doing that. Stop figuring out that it's not about the fact that you can't do something. Okay. That's the thing that puts so many people in this pickle. And they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do or why to do things. Okay. I think that happens a lot. I think that happens an awful lot. Something that maybe you weren't quite sure of. Or saying to me, John, this isn't the way I want to do this. Because maybe you've been going down a pathway because somebody else steered you down that pathway. Maybe, right? Maybe that happened to you, right? But if you're still wondering why things are not working for you, you're putting in the same input. You're not changing, right? Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Expecting different results. That's a very interesting thing, guys. Very interesting thing. Something that I think a lot of people miss in life. They miss the fact that they can do these things. They miss the fact that they have this kind of power. And that's the real truth, guys. That is the dog honest truth. It is about what you do in your life every single day. If you are not doing that, then you're on the wrong pathway. All right. Number 28, design drives behavior, whether intentional or not. Everything around you is influencing you. That's the people, that's the energy, that's the setup, that's everything around you, guys. Everything around you. Everything around you. I'm not just saying one little thing. You might say, John, well, this doesn't matter. Well, maybe that doesn't seem to matter to you, but I got to tell you something. It does matter. When you break things down, it does matter. Okay? And it matters because your subconscious is reading this and saying, oh my gosh, this is what I should be doing. This is what I should be doing. Right? That's the problem. That's a trip, guys. That is the real trip. Do you know what's going on? And I will tell you guys, you probably don't. And there's no crime in that. But you need to learn. Environment is leverage, and leverage changes everything. You don't need more effort when you have alignment. You could do so many things, guys. But if there's alignment, there's so much more you can do. So much more you can do. And I think that's a very important thing that I'm sharing with you. Is that, guys, can make the entire thing magical for you. It can make the entire thing magical for you. That's important, guys. It's very, very important. And I say it's important to you because this one thing could change your entire life. It could change your entire life. One thing could change your entire life. One thing could change your entire life. That's a very interesting statement, but it's truthful. All right. Number 30, guys. Change environment, change your life. It's that simple. Change your environment, change your life. Direction shifts when your surroundings shift. Stop fooling yourself. Like I said, Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again in the same way and expecting different results. We're not insane. Change what you're doing, change what's around you, and you change what's within you. Let me say that again. Change what's around you, people, places, things, thoughts, and you change what's within you. That's powerful, guys. That's a major, major shift. A shift that I think a lot of you don't realize. A shift that maybe will put you into an entirely different bracket, financially, socially. Because, you have the power to do these things, guys. You have the power. The only reason it's not happening for you is because you're still looking down the path that it's never going to happen for you. That's the real truth. Real truth. So here's the shift, guys. You don't need more motivation. You need better alignment because motivation fades in time. Environments stay. So instead of asking, how do I try harder? Start asking a different question. What is currently shaping me right now? What do I see every day? What do I respect without thinking? What is easy for me to do? What is hard for me to do? Because those answers are your results. Your life is not just built by what you want. It's built by what your environment allows. And once you understand that fact, you stop forcing change and you start designing it and making it part of your natural life. Of course, guys, for more insights, please visit believemeachieve.com because your next level begins the moment your environment supports it. What are you waiting for, guys? Change your environment now and you'll start changing your life. Have a great one. And don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com and check out my new book. And we'll catch you real soon, everyone. Be well.